everybody. Happy New Year. How is everybody doing? I hope everyone's well. I will do name checking at the end like I always do. Hey, John of New, Spirit made me do it. Patricia, how's it going? Hello, Adam. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've been keeping a little bit in the news. I know some stuff, and Adam keeps me up on some stuff, and then I've been trying to see less of it because it's so aggravating sometimes. But I think it's a good happy medium. I think I know enough, to read, but I think I don't know too much so that I'm not I don't have a whole context in everything. So I think it'll be a nice mixture and a clean slate to work with, I think, for my guides to work with. So, all right. So yes, Happy New Year, everybody. Should we get started? Okay. Is there any chance, whoops, my light is flowing. Is there any chance that Democrats will take back the House during this term prior to November's election? Okay, good question. So I'm heard not likely, but I also feel like there may be some opportunity there that feels like we could have opportunities, but it's not likely. I'll just leave it at that. That's what I'm getting. Just stick with what I'm getting and not read into it. Yes, I want it to happen, but that's what it's like. There'll be opportunities, but it's not likely. Okay. All right. Will we learn that Clarence Thomas was involved in the January 6th planning? Okay, and this is for entertainment purposes only. We're back into that. Entertainment purposes only. His wife was, he was kept aware. He was aware, but I don't feel like he was, I feel like he was given the ability to say, I wasn't there, or I don't know that. It's like, what is it? Plausible deniability or something like that. They can deny it. So enough so that he could deny it. But I feel like he did know kind of the state of things. And I feel like his wife definitely was. So there you go. So I guess involvement secondhand, not really firsthand. Yeah. How did the Fox audience feel about Jesse Waters having a psychic on his channel who pulled the 5 of Cups and talked about Trump's losses? We were just talking about this last night. Okay, Jesse Waters. I feel like he felt like it was a mistake, but I feel like he doesn't hold psychics in a very high regard. And on top of that, what she got was not really good, not great. So it was kind of like, why did I even do that? He just didn't feel like, he's like, it's almost like, for him, it's almost like wrestling. It's like he knew that he thought that this was not real. And so therefore, a psychic being asked to come on Fox would know, you make it sound good. You make it, you fall in line, basically. So it's kind of like he didn't know that a psychic would come on and tell the truth, like about what they got, and it would have integrity. He really thought like it isn't real anyway, that kind of thing. So felt that, oh, well, she's on Fox, she knows what to do, kind of thing. So it's like he thought she'd be part of the game, or part of she knows what her part is. She knows what part to play. But she's like serious about what she does. She does this and is kind of, takes it seriously, and is, I don't know, I'm not going to get into her and how reputable she is or anything like that, but I feel like she believes in what she does. And he didn't take that into account. He really thought, well, this is fake anyway, and she's coming on Fox, so she knows what to do, that kind of thing. So all in all, he felt it was a mistake. He felt it was a mistake. And I don't think they'll do it again, or at least he won't do it again. But I feel like he really, kind of miscalculated the situation. Okay. Will Ivana Trump's body ever be exhumed from Trump's golf course? So I'm hearing yes after he passes, after his death. And it will be one of his kids that has it exhumed. I don't know why I'm getting that, but it's pretty clear. I feel like it might even be Ivanka that has it exhumed for some reason. But I feel like it won't be till after he's gone. And the reason I think I'm getting that is because there's already a plan to do this. Otherwise, I don't think I would pick up something like that. But there must be some kind of plan to. There's suspicion there. There's suspicion. That's all I know. I don't know if it's suspicion about what's actually in the coffin or how she died, or there's something they're suspicious about. The kids are suspicious, or at least Ivanka. I'm getting Ivanka is suspicious about. So that's what I'm getting. Is it true that Trump smells bad? Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. It is true. I mean, I've gotten stuff about, I'll assume it's true. We'll assume it's true because I've gotten stuff about his body breaking down, basically, or starting to break down. So yeah. I know, doesn't that just like top it off? It's like, what else could be wrong with him? There's like, he already like holds every awful trait that anyone can hold. And on top of that, he doesn't smell good. He smells bad. So yeah. It could be kind of be rotting from the inside out. I don't know. Yes, it's rotting from the inside out. Like literally, that is what's happening. It's awful. And if it was somebody who was a nice person or a kind person or a good person, you would talk about it, and you would also feel bad. Like you'd be concerned, what's going on? I hope they're okay. No, not with him, really. You're like, yeah, seems about right. Yeah, and he smells bad. Is Melania here illegally? Was she ever here illegally? I'm getting Epstein all over this for some reason. I don't know why or what he would have had to do with her coming over here or being over here. So that also may be like kind of saying there's something shady about it, but I don't feel like it was illegal. I feel like it was maybe pushed through or rushed through or in a weird they maybe lied about certain things, or, to get her over here. But why am I seeing it? I mean, I know there are pictures of Trump and her and Maxwell and Epstein, but I don't know of any like connection between the two of them. So I don't know, but I'm getting Epstein. So something about, and something being kind of shady, kind of like not really on the up and up, but I don't get it as being illegal, if that makes sense. The actual like immigration, or the way she did this, it wasn't technically illegal. It was a little shady. And I can see people are saying he introduced her to Trump and she maybe worked for him or something. But anyway, that's what I got. What's the current deal with Melania and Trump? She's been missing in action. We know she doesn't give a F for Christmas. Well, and I mean, over the holidays, he looked so miserable at Christmas, at New Year's. He looked miserable. There was no family around him, or at least I didn't see, maybe there was, I didn't see him. But I thought, isn't that what the rich and famous live for, is their lavish parties, and and it's like, he can't even be, he's just miserable. He's just a miserable man. Again, who would ever trade places? Who'd ever want to trade places with him? Except his followers maybe, but he just seems incredibly miserable to me. So what's the deal with Melania? She doesn't care about Christmas, as she said in a recording. Don't care. So I get her moving around, like a travel, like overseas, like moving around a lot. I'm also getting New York, so I don't know if she was in New York. It's where I don't get her around Mar-a-Lago very much. And I know that's like his main thing, but I feel like spends more time on the East Coast for some reason. And there's something about LA. There's a connection for her in LA that I feel like she's meeting up with, or she's friends with, or something. I feel like it's a male. So there's something about some male in LA, and I feel like this could either be like a close friend or a boyfriend. It's weird. It doesn't quite feel like a boyfriend, but I feel like they're like, this is I don't know, someone she's around a lot right now, or sees a lot or something. They may travel together, because I keep getting traveling as well, like moving around. She thinks he's going to jail. She thinks he's going to go to jail. Just FYI, I don't know why that came up, but she thinks he's going to jail. She does not think he's going to win the presidency again. She is like, I couldn't do it again. I couldn't do that again. But I feel like she feels like he's going to go to jail. Okay, that's all I got on her. Is there something going on between Trump and Alina Habba beyond indictments and defenses? Let's see. No. she thinks he's gross. I don't know how else to put it. And I feel like she says a lot in private about him, that she would never say in public. she has kind of a gross like work ethic. Like she's all about money, all about like getting her face out there, all about, it's very shallow to me. She comes off as a very shallow person, and is all about the, you know, what she can get out of this, what she can get out of him, and willing to do whatever. She doesn't seem to have a problem with, you know, lying. It doesn't really matter. It's all to this, you know, and it's interesting because I really feel like this is not going to work for her in the long run. It's going to be really, really detrimental for her in the long run, career-wise and everything, financially. But I feel like it's why she's doing this, you know, why she's involved, why she's trying to be involved. It's all part of trying to ride this wave, this and get money. And but and she may be like a true believer. I get the feeling that there are some things she's like completely on the bandwagon about certain things, and then other things it's like, that's ridiculous, or I don't believe that, or but it's like it doesn't really matter. There's no integrity, basically. There's no integrity there. There's just kind of a pure ambition, and very comes across to me as very shallow. You know, really cares about surface things, what you look like, what kind of money you have, where you can get, she can get into, what she, you know, getting on, you know, in a private airplane. That she's very, very, to me, comes across as very, very shallow. So I'm sure it's not a huge surprise, but it's interesting walking into her energy and not really getting a whole lot of, and being, and I guess the other thing that comes across too is that she's not very loyal. She's not very loyal. Comes across as, will get what she can get and then move on to whatever else, you know, to whatever other person. So you may see her, you know, turning on him at some point, or leaving him at some point when it's just not good for her, or she thinks it's not good for her anymore. So that's what I'm getting. Who will win the Senate race in California? Currently, Adam Schiff has the lead, followed by Katie Porter, Steve Garvey, and Barbara Lee are also contenders. You know, I'll look at it, but I'll see if it's what I've seen before. But I'll go ahead and look at it since there are other people. Okay, so as it stands now, I feel like it's going to be Adam Schiff. I've seen that before, and I was kind of disappointed in a way because I really like Katie Porter so much. So I was, you know, because I thought she could really like light that place on fire, because she has a lot of, you know, she just brings that kind of like a Sheldon Whitehouse kind of, you know, that kind of thing. But I actually feel like it's going to be Adam Schiff, and he's great too. He's just not as fiery, I guess, as, you know, he is more like suited to the Senate, actually, I think, than the House anyway. So it makes sense, but it's also just what I'm getting. So I'll just leave it at that. So that at this point, this is where it's leading. Will the Democratic Party keep the Senate in 2024? I'm getting a yes. I'm getting a yes. I feel like there may be another Republican Republican that may be retiring soon or leaving soon or passes away or something, because I feel like their seat is up for grabs. So somebody else is getting ready to make an announcement or retire, or something's about to happen with another Republican in the Senate. So I'm getting a yes on that. And I feel like it may be like more of a purple district or something. So, okay. What do you see about Kristi Noem becoming Trump's VP candidate? I heard on the short list, so I feel like she's being considered right now. Reservations. She has reservations about it. She's not sure if it's the best route to take. So I feel like the hesitation is more on her than it is on him for whatever reason. So I'm not getting like a clear yes or no, but she's definitely being considered, but she has reservations about it. She's not sure about it. I think she's may have already been approached in some way, or it's come up or something. But I feel like she's a little bit leery of it, or a little bit unsure about that. For what, I'm not sure why. I'm not getting why, but I'm just getting it. She's not convinced, or she's not sure. What a nauseating ticket that would be, by the way. Yuck. The ticket of yuck. Okay. No, thank you. Will there be any major blowback for anybody mentioned in Epstein's flight logs? So far, there doesn't seem to be a lot of hoopla around this. Yeah, it didn't really feel like there would. I think I read on this before, and it felt kind of like that. It felt kind of like, yeah, we thought those people. No huge, surprises. Not like George Clooney was on it or something like that. It wasn't, it was like, yeah, I could see that. Okay. It doesn't seem like it. However, I feel like something may be coming up for Prince Andrew. I don't know if it's another lawsuit or something comes back or something, but I feel like it's kind of tied to that. So I feel like something may be coming Prince Andrew's way. And I don't know if it's maybe because it can be used as evidence now or something like that, but I feel like it's tied to this somehow. But that's all I'm getting as far as like fallout or something coming from it. What's the future of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion in America? Will it survive the right's attack on being woke? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. So they're saying that things like this, organizations like this, or ideas like this, or whatever things like this are going to be taking a beating for a while. It's not, it may not that may not end, after 2024. There's going to be like but the strong and the strong whatever ideas, entities, organizations will survive, and they'll be stronger for it because they'll have to have kind of fought off the doubts or the question. They'll have to have kind of thought about and answered certain questions, and so what will remain will be much stronger than some of the entities and the things that are there now. So basically, it's kind of like going through a difficult time, but rising above it and being the entities, the things, the ideas, the stuff that survives will be much stronger for it. So it's just a very combative, weird period. And yeah, that's what I'm getting. So I'm going to read too much into that, but that's what I'm getting. Okay. There is an initiative in Arizona to restore abortion rights. Will it be successful? Initiative in Arizona to restore abortion rights. I'm getting a yes. I'm getting a yes, it will be successful. I'm seeing that, who's the woman that lost there? I'm seeing her with the short hair that was, and the, and the airbrush and the tons of makeup. What's her name? I can't think of her name.
Carrie Lake.
Carrie Lake. Yeah, I'm seeing her. So I feel like maybe she'll be like part of the opposition or whatever, but I'm seeing her involved in this, but I'm getting a yes, it will be successful. So in her face. Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys. You're like, Carrie Lake. If Katie Porter fails to win the California Senate seat, what's next for her? I'm getting consumer protection. So, but I'm getting like more of like a federal position. I don't know if that's like if that's what it's called, the Department of Consumer Protection, or if it's a position, like an actual just a position that exists. But that's what I'm getting for her, consumer protection. I mean, it could be also, I am getting it more of like a federal feel. It could be like the state of California or something like that, but it feels federal to me. It feels like the government, the big United States government. So that's what I'm getting for her. Unless she decides to go back to the house or something, and her future is her thing, but she may be offered something like that. Whether she takes it, I guess, is up to her, but that's what I'm getting for her. Sorry about the squinting. I should wear my glasses, but then yeah, if I look up, I can read pretty well, and then at certain points it'll get blurry. But there's a right-winger called Christopher Rufo, known as attacking critical race theory in higher education. Seneca asked, "What's his deal?" Christopher Rufo, attacking critical race. I'm seeing like Steve Bannon. So I feel like maybe he's hoping to be like a Steve Bannon and have like his own podcast and have, get money and get notoriety and kind of be like somehow in the Republican Party in a way that's in like a more of a Bengali kind of, thing. So I feel like, so yeah, if they're showing me Steve Bannon, the other thing I always think about Steve Bannon is like, yeah, he's smart, but he's not as smart as he thinks he is. And so it could be one of those things too, where he thinks he's way smarter than he actually is. Okay. He doesn't have, and maybe this is also something else he has in common with Steve Bannon, is he doesn't come across as very likable or very like charming, or I feel like he may want like an anchor job or something like that, because I keep seeing television. So I feel like he may want, or maybe he's on television now, I don't know. But I feel like he doesn't, but it's like he's not suited to that. It's almost like what he wants and what he is suited for are two different things. And so there may not be a lot going forward for him, because he doesn't know his own limitations, that kind of thing. So, yeah, so that's what I've got. But for whatever reason, Steve Bannon is coming up. And so I kind of feel like he'd like to be like that or have that kind of pull or position or power or whatever, but it's not in the cards for him. It's like, it's not there for him. And also he wants stuff that he's really not suited to. Norma asked whether the SEC will approve the Bitcoin ETF. Adam's laughing at this question because he has no idea what this means. Okay, so Norma asked whether the SEC will approve the Bitcoin ETF. Okay. Bitcoin. So I'm getting something about personal stakes. So I don't know if there's something about this that people in charge would be like involved in also, because it almost feels a little bit not illegal, but like unseemly. So I don't know if this is what this is about, or this is what this is part of, or I don't know what this is, but it's something like something is about people in the know and kind of it being a little bit seedy. There's real worry around this, or fear around this. I feel like they may approve this, but I feel like it's there are worries about this, and maybe that's what it's coming up, is the worry that there's something that could be problematic for people that are in the know, or that have investments in this or something like that. There's something. Anyway, I'm getting that they are more likely yes than no, and that they, but it may not be the answer or the best thing. That's all. That's what I'm getting. I hope that makes sense to what the context is. I have no idea. But that's what I'm getting. It kind of reminds me of like when people do insider trading and stuff like that. There's something that feels a little bit like it's like, I don't know, something about it's like it needs parameters, or there's parameters being put up or something, or wanting to be put up or something like that. Anyway, not really sure. That's all I'm getting.
That was a more interesting response than I was expecting, actually.
Well, thank you.
Right. I have so little faith in you. No, kidding. It's just because with Bitcoin, basically having an ETF, it sort of gives it a legitimacy it's never had before. And there's going to be a ton of money already just because some people are thinking it's imminent that this is going to happen. There's a lot of money flowing into it. But that makes it also prime for kind of some rug pull where all this money goes into it, and there's other people basically betting on that and are going to basically pull their money out when it reaches, sort of like a critical value. I mean, there's definite value to crypto, but there's so many bad actors within the space that's been so problematic. And this is almost like a counter move to the whole everything that we saw in the last year. Where the company's just going under. Anyway, that's an interesting reason.
Right. So that feeling of insider trading could be like something. It could be something that is either going to happen or the fear that will happen. It's interesting. Yeah, Prince Charming's mom says, when is the Batcave tour? We can come on a few minutes early and Adam can give you a tour of the background of the Batcave while he makes a drink or something. Makes the martini while he is in his man cave, showing you around in his Hefner robe. Welcome to Adam After Dark.
No, it's not going to happen.
Oh, Bitcoin is not legal tender. Okay, thank you, Patricia. Okay. It's likely that SCOTUS will weigh in on Trump's eligibility in Colorado and Maine, but how will they decide? Will they enforce the 14th Amendment against Trump's insurrection? Okay, so my feeling, I felt like my guides were trying to tell me this, and I was kind of like, I don't want to hear that. I kind of felt like they might find it in Trump's favor for this particular thing, and be like, it's unconstitutional, you can't do that, or whatever thing they say. But the other one, the immunity thing, will be they'll find against him. And I just felt like that was the way it's going to go. And I didn't want to hear that, but that is what I felt. And so with this one, I do feel like they will. I think they may say you can't do that. You just can't do that at all. He as I don't know what they're going to use for the reason why. At least it's not coming up. Let me see if I can figure out why they're going to say, because we know they're just whatever, completely political. It's like it's tied to the case somehow. So maybe it's like he wasn't charged with insurrection, so you can't really say, or something like that. But I feel like it's tied. Their decision is tied to a case, or it's tied to some case. So that's what I'm getting. I guess there's a chance they could throw it, just throw it back to the states. I just don't, for some reason, I feel like they're for some way, somehow are going to say he has to be on the ballot or he needs to be on the ballot. I'm sorry, but that's the feeling I'm getting, and then I think that they're going to find in Jack Smith's favor. But I think that's, because they're so political. They're thinking that way too. It's like, thank you, Itanari, and thank you, Chili Dog. They should just do what the right thing is to do, but they don't. That's not how they operate. It's not how this court operates. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think they'll go with Jack Smith for the immunity thing, and this one they're going to say, but no, he has to be on the ballot. And here's another opportunity, right, to get rid of this fool, or to try to get rid of this fool, and they just don't take. And I think there'll be more opportunities. There's going to be more opportunities to get rid of him, before this election gets rid of him. But they won't they won't do it. They're too locked in. It's really sad. I hope so too, Celtic Seer. I hope they all get voted out as well. We'll just keep believing that, keep thinking that, keep picturing it, manifest it, make it happen. What are Roger Stone and Steve Bannon up to as Trump finds himself up to his orange tan line in court appearance? Thank you, Craig Dixon, for being a member for 24 months. And yes, you can be a member. Hit the join button and you can join our club, which I was doing mini readings for tonight. Roger Stone and Steve Bannon. I just heard plotting and planning. So I feel like they're up to their old nonsense. I keep seeing Michael Flynn, and I keep seeing military. So I feel like they're doing something with military, or they have something, trying to do something with military, or no, making their own military. I don't know what this is, but I feel like they're plotting and planning, kind of doing what they do, being traitors, being gross behind the scenes. But I do feel like they're kind of like they're up to something. It does feel like, plotting and planning. And it's stuff around the election. It's a game plan, They're not, to me, it doesn't feel like they're worried as they should be. But it's just because this is the stuff they live for. They like to, be the evil villains behind the scene. This is their thing. This is their moment. So they're going to do it. They're going to keep doing what they do. But for some reason, Michael Flynn came in to the picture, and the military for some reason. Matt Gaetz, I just heard. Yeah, but they're plotting and planning behind the scenes, being gross as they are. Sorry, that's my own. My guys aren't saying that. I'm saying that. They're being gross. Oh, thank you, Celtic Seer. Thank you so much. Happy, healthy New Year to you too. So, yeah. One thing that did come back to me, I don't really know if you guys remember this, but for a while, Giuliani kind of dropped out of the scene. Like we hadn't heard from him. He hadn't gotten charged yet, nothing. And something that came through, somebody asked the question, who is the first person in Trump's inner circle to go to jail? And it was Rudy Giuliani. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was Rudy. And I said, that's weird because he hasn't even been charged with anything yet. But now it's like, yeah, he actually could be the first one to go to jail. So there you go. Oh, thank you, Rebecca Rios. You're a member too for 24 months. Yay. Yeah, because it's been 2 years. I can't believe that. So yeah, but I don't know if you guys remember that, but that is what I got. So, and that's fine. If he's the first one, yay. At least there was an answer to that. So that means there is someone, and there'll be more. So DeSoto asked about one of our favorite topics, Kim, curious about sovereign citizens. What effect will they have on our society? Okay.
And you may need to explain what sovereign citizens are, because everyone may not be as familiar as us.
It's a group of, what I think it is, it's a group of people that either have lost their driver's license for some reason, or they owe a bunch of money for some reason to the court system or to whatever.
Or
and
taxes.
or taxes, but they think they've found this way out, which is this group that tells them they can be considered a sovereign citizen if they send them this amount of money and get these papers and start spouting this nonsense. And basically it's that none of the laws apply to them is basically what it is, right? None of the laws, none of the taxes, nothing applies to them. They don't need a driver's license. They don't need to register their car. They don't need to, and they have all these ridiculous like reasons why, I can drive my car if it isn't for commerce, if I'm not, whatever. It's the dumbest. Yes, it's a scam.
I'm not driving, I'm a traveler. Only admiralty law applies to me, etc. Okay, you got it.
Because people are getting put in jail left and right over this. It's not stopping anything from happening to them. And you're right. It's just a scam. It's people that think they found a way around the system because they couldn't. And I'm not saying it's easy. Once you lose your license or once stuff happens, it's really hard to get out of that web. It's hard. I mean, Cassie is, she knows, she is always talking about the justice system and stuff, and how it's totally, it wraps up poor people in the system, and it's really hard to get out, and it's really difficult. So it should not be that difficult, but it's also, there's really no way around it at this point. So I actually sympathize with what these people may be going through, because whenever they are on, they're railing against a cop or railing against the court system, they always are like, they don't have any money. They've been in and out of prison, or they've had, bad things. So I understand the frustration that must be there. And that's the empath in me as well, that just knows that these people are not, are in tough situations. And so it is sad, but they're also being scammed again. So it's sad as well. People taking advantage of these people that are desperate. So it's sad all the way around, but it's interesting, and it's very weird. And it's one of these like, these stories people are telling themselves, or these, conspiracy theories. It's perfect for people like that, because it goes into that idea, you've been lied to all these years. This is all you have to do here, just start saying this stuff and put these papers out there and you're home free. And it's not true. Okay. So what is going to come of sovereign citizen stuff? Okay. Well, what I'm feeling is that they're going to start coming down harder on these people. Like when they bring this kind of stuff to court, it's almost like they get hit with something else, like wasting the court's time or something. It's like they're going to hit them harder for doing this. And they're also going to hit harder the people that are doing these scams. They're going to try to go after the source, because it's going to become kind of a problem in tying up the court system, or tying up things that don't need to be tied up, or if it's somewhere like LA, it's like you can't have stuff like this going on, because it's just going to be a mess, and it's going to push everything back. And so it's like they're going to start coming down harder, both on the people that are doing this, the sovereign citizens that are saying I'm a sovereign citizen, but also the people that are giving this information. They're going to start citing them for different things that they're doing that aren't legal, or are on skating the edge of illegal. So they're going to start hitting those people with fines and things like that. So so I guess the long story short is it's going to kind of go out with a whimper. Eventually, it's going to kind of go to the wayside. It won't be worth it, basically. There won't be any upside to it at all. The right is obsessed with the FBI's Crossfire Hurricane investigation, which was the investigation into Trump's communication with Russia prior to his presidency. Will they ever find anything? The right is obsessed with the FBI. Will they ever find anything? So I feel like the information they got or the information received from the investigation is true. Like it's real. It happened. So as far as finding anything, if they find anything, it's going to be that. So as far as like nefarious stuff or they set Trump up or something like that, doesn't seem like there's anything like that. It seems like it's real. It's a real thing. So if they start digging, that's all they're going to find is that, yeah, that this is, and also I'm hearing something about surveillance. So I feel like maybe they think there's something wrong with some of the surveillance or the way they got information or something, but it feels like it's all on the up and up. It all was like a real thing, and it is the information they got was correct information. That's it. That's all I'm getting. Will NASA find life on Jupiter or Saturn's moons? Jupiter or Saturn's moons? I'm getting like some interesting visuals or like things that you can see. I feel like there's something interesting there, but it's not that. It's not life on that. It's like it's almost like we need to look into this or we need to see what this really is. Because I feel like so maybe it's like things that pose some questions or something like that, but it doesn't feel like it's life. It feels like it's something you can see, something they're looking at. It's like we need to look into this or we need to find out more about this, but I don't think it has anything to do with life on Jupiter or Saturn's moons. Doesn't feel like that. A recent WAPO poll shows 25% of Americans believe the FBI initiated the January 6th insurrection. What will it take to bring these people back to reality, or are they too far gone? Okay. Yeah. Well, 25%, right? That's about that 25% of Americans. That's a little weird. But it also shows the distrust. There's lots of distrust for some areas of the government right now, right? And part of it is just this nonstop, talking crap about them or whatever. Okay, so let me see. So I'm feeling giving me like a 15%, like there's 15% that will just never believe, they will believe, everything Trump said. They will, and there is a lot of, it's almost like a mental illness that's catching. So I don't know what that would be, like, you always say mob mentality, Adam, but like what is it called when there's like a hysteria that's like a group of people. But anyway, it feels like
Cult?
mental illness that's catching. Yeah, like a cult. Yeah, but it is like their minds are altered is kind of the feeling, and so there'll be about 16% that are, it's like their brains have been altered. They're altered. It's like mental illness that was catching, and so they're not really savable. But though there are ones that will kind of turn around as time goes on, as we get further away from this. And yeah.
Well, I mean, the presidency carries.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah.
Just because just being president, right? Trump, as bad as he was, just the legitimacy that the presidency, it's like a cape that you wear, or a crown. It confers validity to it. So when he's saying it, there's a percentage of people who are like, well, that's the president, that's my president.
Right.
They're going to believe it no matter how crazy they are. And then the sunk cost fallacy is, when you believe that much, it costs more to reverse yourself out of it than just keep going. It's like trying to get into a parking space and you're scratching up your car, but God damn it, you're going to just keep going. And speaking of polls, because the chat was saying, you can say anything in a poll, so we decided to, and scientific results are in 316 votes on what does Trump smell of. So 7% said a general musty odor, which is actually what I think. 12% said McDonald's McFarts. 15% said the sweater fear, which I think will increase over time as Jack Smith does his work. But then 67% all agreed that it was his diaper.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that assessment. And Adam did say he smells that of a musty smell. I know he does. I'm like, okay.
It's just that sweaty kind of musty. He never changes his suits. He wears the same ones all the time. And I'm pretty sure that a Trump hotel smells the same way. I've heard it's
old carpet, food in the carpet.
Hasn't been cleaned enough. You can't ever clean it enough. Anyway, that's also the end of the questions. See you later.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. We are back. So we'll be back here in a couple weeks. I'll be there on Sunday. We're going to be chatting on Sunday. So come and hang out there at 1, which is a live show. So you can ask questions and hang out in the chat together. And we're going to be talking about psychic mediums and the ego this Sunday. So if you want to hang out and talk about that, I'm going to have Debbie on. So we're going to talk about that. All right, everybody. I am going to say goodnight and wish everybody a happy new year. And thank you, Adam. All right. Sharon Side, JFS, DF. Yes, they are brainwashed. Patricia Franzino, Susan May, Raquel Hartley, Annie C7, Cat's Cauldron, Darren, J Cat Lady, Patricia Franzino, Tommy Aldrich, Jay Hyatt, Barbara Phillips, Craig Dixon, Lama Bryant, Patricia, Warren Ukraine, Deb Z, Tina C, Shelly S, Craig Dixon. Yes, I totally believe that. Lama Bryant, Connie B, Paisley, Amanda Carol, John of New, good to see you. I hope to see you this year. Betty Harper, Deb C, Kindred Spirit, Book Bewitched, Jay Hyatt, Kelly Scarborough, Don Broadbent. Nice to see you guys. Happy New Year. Jamie Johnson, Tommy Aldrich, Tina C, Lucretia Valdez. Thank you. Carol Lamb, Allison L, Woween, Susan Bain, Darren, Kevin Loving Vibration. Hello, Kevin. Thank you. Carol Gallagher, Pat S, Rebecca Rios, MG, Happy Girl, Mel S, Rebecca Rios again, Pegasus, Sweetie Darling Lulu, Roxanne M, Paisley, Lily D, Shelly S, Similia Bankole, Spirit Made Me Do It. Thanks, Marcy, for hanging out. Rebecca Gilberto, Marvita Dragonfly, Kat M, Leslie, Nicole Carroll, Sunny Dell, Melody Mondell, Dave Tunn. Thanks, you guys, for hanging out. Happy New Year's. Lama Bryant, Sandra Tibet, Sandra in Connecticut. Yay, thank you. Teresa Baltazar, Pamela Doss, Kindred Spirit, Jamie Johnson, Jeremy English, Craig Hunt, Brita Stanger, Kimmy G, Happy Girl, Lama Bryant, Keltrick Crone, Mother of Three Gotcha, Barbara Phillips, Francie, Jess R, thank you so much. Oh, Freebird, there's Debbie, Freebird Spirit, Pisces Greeter TK, Rosie Grammy of 3, Barbara Phillips, Brenda R, MD, Christine VR, Lynn Spencer, Joe Schmo, Pisces Greeter TK, Cynthia Pierce, June G, Chris Wickens, Artist, thank you so much. Nancy Carlson, I think I said Jamie Johnson, right? It's Charming's mom. Anne G, thank you. Sandy Party, Betty Harper, Chris Wickens, Kayenta Moenkopi. Thank you. Darren Hans von Moritz. Okay. Nancy Leno. Leslie Tangle 0906. Vernie 444. Grace's Glory, Foxy Roxy, Jay Hyatt, I said that one. Ann Hart, Darren, Mother of Three Gotcha, Linda Sherelle. Okay, Scorpio Lady. Morning Star Art. Mother of Three Gotcha. Sharon Sipe. Okay, I think I got everybody. So thank you, or anybody you wanted to be mentioned. So have a good night, everybody. I'll see you Sunday. Have a good weekend. Foxy Roxy. Yep, I got everybody, I think. All right. Have a good night, everybody. See you on Sunday. Have a good weekend. Bye.